Shoulder pinching. So as a doctor of physical therapy, hi, Dr. Jenna Scare here. I want to talk to you about what is happening when you're feeling that pinching within the shoulders, specifically, usually when we're lifting overhead, right? Why is it getting catching or pinching or that pain that might be happening? Now, keep in mind, there's always a variety of reasons this could be happening, and this one little video might not solve everything. We're going to talk very specifically about what's happening at those shoulders, but as always, it's better to self-assess where you're limited or lacking rather than just guessing. So that's where you can use the mobility method where we go through a full body self-assessment, or you can always go see a physical therapist in person, something I recommend highly to everyone. Even if you're unsure if it's that bad, addressing it right away prevents it from getting that bad. So let's just talk about what is happening in the shoulder. We have a lot of tendons and ligaments and everything, and it is normal for them to get caught underneath the shoulder joint. So essentially we have our shoulder blade, and this is part of our shoulder blade right up top, and then we have the bone from the upper arm coming to meet it, and that is what kind of creates this little ball and socket. Well, as we move, we want that joint to move, and sometimes when it's lacking that mobility inside the joint, we can get some different it gets stuck on the way up and it doesn't have as much glide, and so it might start irritating some of those tendons a little bit, which could lead to some of the pain that you're feeling. Now, keep in mind, this also requires a lot of mobility through that upper spine. It requires good range of motion of those shoulder blades. It's not just what's happening at this shoulder joint, but that's what we're going to address today. So for this first exercise, we really want to address what's happening at the shoulder blade, because like I said, the shoulder blade and the arm make up this joint, right? And we need the shoulder blade to glide upwards in order to get the shoulder to reach full range of motion. Sometimes if that shoulder blade isn't gliding well, then that's what could be causing some of that pinching, because then the shoulder joint itself is trying to do all the work without the shoulder blade kind of helping. So we're going to start to address that. This is the plank on the wall. Sounds super easy, right? Plank on the wall, no problem. Pay attention. So we're going to stand about less than a foot away from the wall. You want to make sure that you're not leaning in. So if the wall was taken away, would you fall? Okay, you want to be right up close against it, so where the elbows can be placed onto the wall. So again, I'm standing straight up and placing my arms on the wall. Then from here, I'm going to unlock my knees just a little bit, and I'm going to press my elbows into the wall. So I want you to think about moving your shoulder blades away from the spine. You can also think of this sternum pressing away from the wall. Okay, so I press away from the wall, trying to dig my elbows into it as if I'm holding $100 underneath here. If you drop it, you lose it. So press those elbows into the wall really, really hard, shoulder blades pressing into the wall. And then right from here, I'm going to start to reach my bottom back. Now, you know you're doing it right if you feel like your toes are wanting to lift and you want to fall away from the wall. What happens a lot is that the knees start to come forward. We don't want the knees to come forward as you bend. So you want to think of pressing those elbows in and reaching the hips back. Reach the hips back, reach back, barely bend the knees. Then from here, when you feel like you're going to topple over, you're going to do 5 to 10 really big intentional breaths. Breathing in from that rib cage, breathing out and pressing into the wall even more. I'm even starting to shake here, and that was one breath. So when you're really doing this intentionally, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what's happening at the shoulder blade, this trunk? A lot of different things are going to start to feel crazy. That means you're doing it right. Next thing, we want to make sure again that the shoulder has the range of motion to glide and move within that joint, right? So we don't want to just work on flexion, but we actually want to work on rotation of that joint. So I'm going to be against a wall here. You can also do this laying down, and I want to take the shoulder in front of me. So kind of similar to what we just did in the last exercise, I want to take that shoulder blade away from my spine and move it forward. Now from here, I'm going to just nice and gently start to give a little love into that arm and place that forearm down. So I'm trying to think of keeping this arm almost horizontal. It's going to move a little bit because skin. And then coming down just until you feel some tension start to build up in the joint. You don't need to go so aggressively. So just holding this. Now I want to take some deep intentional breaths, really start to melt into this range of motion. Then I'm going to press against my hand that's pushing down, pushing up, 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 and then seeing if I can hold it down on its own. And then pressing up, and then hold it down. This is just gonna help to build in that range of motion at the shoulder. You can see, oh, maybe you gain a little bit more range, okay? It's most important to do this on a consistent basis. Hold it intentionally for about 1 minute, and then try at least 3 to 5 active pushes. Next one is external rotation. For this one, you wanna rotate away just a bit, and you wanna think of that shoulder staying down, press that shoulder blade back, and then push the hand into the wall. Push, push, push as much as you can. You might be rotating. Think of opening that chest, bringing that shoulder blade back into the spine, keeping it away from your ear, and then coming out of it. And then press as if you're gonna push the wall away, push the wall away, push the wall away, and then coming back. So this is gonna help to wake up that range of motion in the shoulder. Again, what's necessary in order to help create some slide and glide in that joint so you can ultimately get into that better range of motion without so much pinching. So give this a try. Comment below and let me know what you feel. Let me know if you're feeling something different, if you're surprised by how hard these simple little exercises actually might be within your body. If you love what you're learning, don't forget there's so much more that I have in store. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos so that you don't miss anything and you continue to learn and feel amazing within your body.